Hey, we win these. Why is my microphone so low? That is so crazy. Bro. There we go. That's like a normal volume. Let's see if that randomly goes down because that happens pretty consistently. Hi, Rafi. You're here early. As used in the context of data networking. Bandwidth, and that's different from throughput. I think that's maximum, right? Bandwidth, it's not 3, it's not 1, it's either 2 or 4. Weight, I don't really know what weight means, so I think it's 4, yeah. Stackable switch, finish coding. Oh, I just finished eating some food I made for myself. Oh, I see. What food did you eat? Oh, I see. ACL at the network layer. Fish sticks, that's awesome. Check this out. I set it up so holmar.thou.sh runs on goes to Holmar, but then if I just go to thou.sh, it goes to like my actual website, which is pretty neat. I set that up this morning. It's pretty cool because let me make sure I can show this. Is that some custom DNS stuff? It is custom DNS stuff. However, the problem was that, so I have it set up in Pi-hole, right? Hold on. Let me see if I can show Pi-hole. Oh God, hold on. If you saw what was on this monitor, that would be really bad because it's all of my API keys. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, so on Pi-hole, I have holmar.thou.sh pointing at 10.0.0.115. However, the thing is that that would mean you have to go to, because it normally runs on 7575, right? That's the port it runs on for the web interface. So because I did that in Pi-hole, I would have to go to holmar.thou.sh colon 7575, and that's obviously not preferable, right? Ideally, I just want to go to holmar.thou.sh. So you have to set up something on Nginx called a reverse proxy, which I'm super used to, but it was a little weird doing it with NixOS. I just had to make nixconf and then just pass it through to like nginx.conf, you know, so it wasn't that difficult. And most of this is generated by a large language model, this Nginx configuration. I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure you just need this stuff. Like, I think this is all extra. But the it was a little complex. But it was cool because I was able to set it up to where the problem I was having was that both Homar and Nginx both run in two separate Docker containers, and on the Nginx container you can't you can't point it at this local IP in Homar's Docker container, right? You can't do a reverse proxy to like something running in another container. So the thing you have to do is you have to make sure they're in the same network. And so you have to make this, you have to make sure it's part of this home lab network, which is actually created by, this systemd service, this custom systemd service, and it essentially just makes sure it's running, and if it's not running, it just creates a network called home lab. So then it connects these two containers to this one sort of virtual network called home lab, and it makes it so then with its IP, it can it's cool because with this IP, it can connect to this. So it's pretty neat. I was able to figure it out. I'm happy about it. I don't know if it's network address translation because network address translation is like one IP to another IP, right? So that would be something like, you know, you have a singular sort of external IP that a router exposes, and then when things come into that router, it sort of statefully connects your computer through that router to whatever it's trying to connect to. But this would be DNS. So it's associating a, so my local DNS server is associating an IP address with a certain domain name. It does like, is it domain name service? Domain name system. So yeah, this would be DNS. But DNS is awesome. I love DNS. I need to learn more about DNS. Yeah, but you said you needed a virtual network. Well, sure, but like, I don't know if that's... I guess I don't really know how Docker networks work. I just know that I needed to connect it to one thing. I guess... I'm not sure. I don't really know how Docker networks work. I just know that if you connect two... I just know if you connect two containers to the same network, they're able to communicate with each other, but I don't know exactly what it is. It might be a NAT. I don't know. I do know that virtual machine... I learned this in my A+ stuff, but I don't remember it exactly. But I do know that virtual machines, they have host binding. Like, oh, no, they didn't, I didn't get to the topic of Java. It was just like, they had this little box full of like little stress toys, and one of them was this, and I was like, this is crazy. And then he let me have it. Shout out to Sun Microsystems. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't. Wow, awesome AI image here. Dude. Okay. Oh yeah, it uses firewall rules to perform network address translation. Okay, I guess it is NAT. I just haven't really considered it like that. I need to think more um, with a wider sort of purview, because I interact with things like this and I'm like, wow, this is such a cool, like, this is such a cool Docker feature that Docker has, but then I don't realize like it has to do with exactly what I'm learning, you know? Oh, really? Is that what that's from? The remote thing? Is that corroborated? Yeah. Shout out Fireship. The goat. Couldn't find anything on it. Weird. I wonder where he got that. Right. Yeah, right? Java was originally designed for interactive television. Oh, the citation? An interactive handheld home entertainment controller that was originally targeted at the digital cable television industry. I see. Wow. Okay, so there was like a cool programming. Yeah, so there was like a cool programming language that they had invented. And then they were like, oh, we should make a TV remote to show off this, to like use this cool programming language we made. And then they were like, I see, that's interesting. One terrible thing about Helium is, as far as I know, it doesn't show your zoom level. Like, there's no way to go back to normal zoom, so you just have to kind of guess. There's Duke. OCD Nightmare, yeah, for real. Didn't this guy have a Lex Friedman interview? Am I being crazy? Am I crazy? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Totally, totally an MIT researcher, by the way. Yeah. Oh yeah, DHH. That's also the case with wow. That's kind of the case with Geo Hot too. Do you know George Hotz? Do you know who this is? He did Comma. Do you know Comma? It's like that open source self-driving solution. No, no, it's awesome. It's open source. It's so cool. You know, I think it's fine if you know, people are running weird experimental software on their car that makes it do like random garbage. Okay. But yeah, Comma's really neat. They there was yeah, Linus Tech Tips made a video on it, but the first time I had heard of Comma was bro. What? Like, it was like Wall Street Journal or something. Was it this?
Glass. The Google self-driving car project is like Google Glass. I say Google is the Xerox PARC of the self-driving car industry.
No, it wasn't.
Right? Now you see all these good ideas, you bring them out, you fan out to all the companies.
Bro. Well, anyway, the specifics don't really matter, but George was part of the Fail Overflow team.
Hi, everyone.
Who I believe were the first people to do the iPhone hack, right? Like, they were the first people to... Oh no, it actually had nothing to do with Fail Overflow. Fail Overflow was the PlayStation stuff. He was the first guy to carrier unlock an iPhone. This is a video he uploaded 17 years ago that talks about it, where he's like, oh, I'm running AT&T, or I'm running like T-Mobile or whatever on my iPhone. Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy, and it's actually funny because he did join Fail Overflow, and he did PlayStation stuff, and it's actually a little crazy because do you know who else was on the Fail Overflow team? Hector Martin. And Hector Martin actually ended up making Asahi Linux. And so there's actually a pretty strong connection between the people making between the people making Comma and the people making Asahi. There's like a cool connection there because they were both at Fail Overflow at the time. And of course Hector Martin did a bunch of other work as well. Like he did, what did he do? Yeah, he did like stuff with the Wii. He did like a whole bunch of other stuff. He wrote the obituary for Nier, who made Hygen, the Hygen emulator. That's not necessarily what's happening, Rafi, but you know, George Hoff is a very, very smart guy. And he has 3 Lex Friedman interviews, which isn't necessarily which is kind of an indictment on his intelligence. But yeah, there's 1 and 2 and 3. He's a pretty funny guy, and he also has a blog where he just like says like random garbage. He's a kind of a funny guy. And he's self-confident in like a sort of DHH-esque way. Avatar 2 was in there, was it? Avatar 2 was bad. Man, I haven't seen any of the Avatar movies. Bro. This guy's so funny. He also does these programming live streams, like, and they're good for like background noise. He does like these programming streams. He was doing something with Gastown. I should learn what Gastown is, because what? It's a Claude thing? Okay, maybe I shouldn't learn what Gastown is. Where did I hear about it? I don't know anything about what you're referring to, but if it's any consolation, George Hoth is also kind of a crazy person. He's he has this clip in his third Lex Friedman interview where, by the way, he's wearing an insane Balmain hoodie. He's really into wearing like super expensive clothes. I don't know why he does it, because he's like, he doesn't seem particularly materialistic. Yeah, Balmain Paris. He has this clip where he talks about like, oh, can he has this clip where he's like, oh, can Sundar Pichai shut down Google tomorrow? And it's like, oh, he has the power, but does he have the authority? And he's talking about how like, and it's actually funny, like this is aged really badly because he's talking about how like he has more faith in Meta than Google long term for like large language model development, because he talked about how he always bets on like open source, which is a thing he's pretty consistent on. Like Comma's open source. He also has he's working on like this this neural network framework that is cool, and he also sells these like these $60,000 computers, which are just like they just have a bunch of like GPUs in them. Like he sells these big computers with GPUs in them. Yeah, but yeah, so he talks about how like, you know, he bets on Meta more than Google long term, and the reason he says he believes this is because he thinks because he talks about how Mark Zuckerberg has more authority over Facebook than Sundar Pichai has over Google, which is true. Like he talks about how Mark Zuckerberg probably shut down Facebook.com tomorrow, but like Sundar Pichai probably couldn't shut down Google.com tomorrow, and it's just because of how the corporate structure works. Like, despite not being a majority shareholder in the company, he does have a majority of the voting shares, and that's something that I think Peter Thiel told him to do when he was investing in Facebook initially. Like, he had told them like, hey, when you go public, like be sure you have all the voting shares so you can maintain control over this company. And so George, he has a lot of this. He puts a lot of stake into like individual control over companies and how he correlates that with like the success of those companies. And so his argument for like why Google would be doing better now is because it's like, oh, Larry Page came back and he sort of took control over the Gemini project, and that's why they're doing so well now. Like his argument would be like, oh, there's more individual controls over these companies, and that's more aligned with like sort of the TL-esque, sort of Yarvin-esque, like neo-reactionary thought of like sort of monarchical company structure in that way. Yeah, Thiel's a funny guy. He's also gay. Did you know that? Did you know he's gay? And he killed his ex-boyfriend. He murdered his ex-boyfriend. Did you know about that? Look at this. Hold on. No, okay, wait. It's not proven that he killed his ex-boyfriend. Yeah, Thiel was in a long-term relationship with model Jeff Thomas until Thomas's suicide in March 2023. There's some like This is the craziest story ever. According to some sources, in late December 2022, Thomas attended a New Year's Eve party hosted at Teal's Miami Beach compound, although he was not invited. The guest list was pre-approved by Teal's husband. He reportedly confronted Teal after discovering Thomas among the guests and asked, "Why is he here?" Bro. Yeah, there was an argument, and then he was found dead at the bottom of an apartment building. It's the most insane story in the world. It's so crazy. For all. And so there's sort of this, maybe, yeah, I don't know. So there's sort of this narrative that like, oh, you know, Peter Thiel's husband was like, oh, why is he here? This like lover of yours at this party at this with this guest list I should have been pre-approving. And then the idea is that like Thiel was like, oh, I'll take care of him, and then he got him murdered, which is, you know, allegedly, right? That's what people say. And it's just a very, very funny thing to talk about. Another piece of lore is Sam Altman actually met, who's also gay. Sam Altman actually met his husband at Peter Thiel's house. Yeah, look at this. In Peter Thiel's hot tub at 3 a.m. Like, bro. It's just so insane. It's probably just not what happened. Yeah, but it is funny. It is funny to lie about this Peter Thiel thing. Another weird Thiel thing is the Thiel Fellowship. Yeah, I mean, I get that it's in poor taste. It is a little weird, you know. I think I'm a little nihilistic in this regard, so I'm able to laugh about it, but it is a little crazy. Another weird thing is the Thiel Fellowship, which actually so if you look at if you look at like a lot of the Doge stuff that ended up happening, What? Is it gone now? Did they remove it from the page? Okay, anyway. So, there was this stupid, you may have heard about this, where, you know, when Elon Musk had a much bigger role in, like, the US federal government, there was this, initiative, like, it's called a department, it wasn't a department, where essentially they just, like, were allowed to do, like, a bunch of random garbage in the federal government, and it was, like, wholly uninteresting. And nothing really ended up happening, really. But something really weird about it was that they put a bunch of like these, they did a bunch of like they got a bunch of like random kids to do a bunch of random garbage, and it's crazy because a lot of these kids were actually part of the Teal Fellowship, which is this fellowship entitled for individuals aged 22 or younger, and offers them $200,000 over 2 years, as well as guidance and other resources. And a lot of these people, like recipient of the Teal Fellowship, would be people like who's the Vitalik Buterin, who actually created Ethereum. So that's pretty crazy. He co-founded Ethereum, so this would be like one of the guys, who was a recipient of the Teal Fellowship. And that's like the guy I know the most about, but there's also like a lot of other famous people. But yeah, so a lot of these kids who were in charge of stuff at Doge were from the Teal Fellowship, which is pretty funny. Can I... Yeah, you can kind of see the connection in some of the citations. Oh, did they mention it up here? Yeah. In early February 2025, Elon Musk used several Teal Fellows in an attempt to take over operations of the Department of the Treasury through the Trump administration's Doge. Oh yeah, and then there's the Founders Fund, which is also a Teal thing. Is his name literally Mike Solana? Does this have nothing to do with the cryptocurrency? Okay. WhatsApp? Okay. But yeah, then there's the Founders Fund, which I actually believe did some OpenAI stuff, right? Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Teal was one of the first donors to the then nonprofit OpenAI. There's actually a Peter Thiel talk just about like business garbage. At Y Combinator. Come on, dude. This shows up in my bro. This shows up in my recommendations all the time. I don't. They recommend me this Peter Thiel talk at Y Combinator constantly. It's really weird because I'm not like a big Thiel. Like I'm not watching or reading Peter Thiel stuff. Oh yeah, here it is. It's this thing at Stanford, and it's really crazy because Sam Altman is the guy who introduces. Oh God, what am I? Hold on. It's this one. This is the one that was being recommended. Yeah, so Sam Altman is like, oh, I'm gonna introduce good friend of mine, Peter Thiel. And then he does like this this lecture. Sam Altman introducing Peter Thiel. It's just so crazy. It was just such crazy lore. Bro. And yeah, of course Yarvin is good friends with Thiel. Yarvin watched the the 2016 presidential election in Peter Thiel's house, you know. No, I am reading chat. I am reading chat. I'm just not saying anything about it. Sorry. Yeah, my buddy actually read the Straussian moment. I should probably read this. It seems relevant to what's going on. I did hear about the hack of their website. Is that what you're referring to? Oh. Okay. I did hear about this. Hold on, let me, probably the CDN, probably? Yeah, okay. Bro. Okay, one moment. I gotta use the restroom. Hello, I'm back early. But yeah, this Hots fellow was really cool, and I really like his Friedman interviews. Hots is very good at yapping. He's a very talented fellow. Broadly. He's really awesome. Yeah, see, look at how much work he does. And you can call him if you pay him for $1,000. Would you pay Tortoth $1,000 to call him for half an hour? I remember speaking to this guy. I just recently spoke to this guy. Yeah, John Campbell, and he's a really smart fellow, and he's working on this DOSBox fork. But he was saying something similar. Like, people were talking about this like, people on his Discord were talking about adding Wayland support, and he was referring to, like, oh, once the Wayland developers get less, you know, explicitly political, I'll consider Linux support for DOSBox X. And it's like, bro, like, like, I didn't really say this because he's a really smart guy and I didn't want to be disrespectful, but you know, I'm just inclined to say that's not like, that's crazy. Like, I just really don't think it's that big of a deal. I feel like there's not that much. Like, it is true that, like, a lot of prominent open source developers are, like, pretty outspokenly left wing, but, like, I just don't think that's that big of a deal. This guy's really smart, though. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna study now. Isn't it, I don't know. Could you elaborate on that, Rafi? Okay. I mean, honestly, I don't know much about it either, but I do know that there are some people, like, there's a lot of people who, I feel like Joshua Cicerella talks about this a lot, who's sort of a, oh my god, he has a Wikipedia page. He does a lot of, right, and like now he has a podcast, and he's just essentially like a podcaster, but he's a, does the website really not have HTTPS? That's crazy. Bro, get HTTPS. But yeah, he's like an artist who created a podcast, and he has a lot of, he does a lot of really good work on sort of niche online communities. Yeah, like, he had a book research project concentrating on niche political Instagram accounts, which found collectively within the Politigram community. And, you know, he has a really interesting podcast, and he talks a lot about how there was a sort of rhetoric of, like, this militant activism, you know, on the left, that was particularly prominent over COVID, and has sort of since been shown to be not super effective politically. You know, people are kind of just turned off by it, turns out, when people are like really very, very confident in the way they speak about these types of things, you know. You know the type of thing I'm talking about. Like when people thought like cancel culture was a serious thing, and it wasn't, right? But there was a certain sort of a cultural, there was like a cultural thing going on that was like mostly from left-wing people, that was like very like militant, you know, and confident, you know, and people didn't really like that. And this sort of thing was like kind of shown in like, yeah, like Tumblr stereotype people, and this sort of like the ultimate culmination of this was like a lot of stuff that happened in the 2024 election. Like, of course, it was mostly economic anxiety that made people vote for this guy, but a lot of it was also like attack ads from the right wing, painting caricatures of the left wing that were broadly untrue. You know, however, there is a sort of kernel of truth in that it was like they weren't pulling these concepts out of their ass, you know. They were like these real concepts that they were, you know, creating caricatures of and stuff like that. But yeah, Joshua Citarella talks about he talks about how this is sort of a losing battle, and I do think it's true that like a lot of these people yeah, I think that one was entirely made up, the the furry thing, but I just feel like it's true that a lot of these people in the Linux community, and a lot of developers, and I could be wrong, like I could be a victim of propaganda in this way, but I do think there are a lot of people who are still part of this sort of militant wave of like activism, and I feel like it's definitely less true now, because that type of behavior is just way less popular now, but it is, I think, not an unfair thing to be worried about, but it is like, I think it's silly, but I'm also progressive, right? I'm also left wing, so like I don't know. Like if you're like super into markets and you're super into like say you're like a weird like, yeah, but then you have people like Lunduk crying about pride themes in GNOME. It is pretty funny. Lunduk's a very funny guy, and it's a shame because Lunduk's actually how I got into Linux. He used to have this old YouTube channel, which I think doesn't even exist anymore, like the Lunduk Journal. Like, you go back to his old videos. Oh. Yeah, see, there's like a gap between 7 years ago and then 2 years ago, right? And in between that, there were like a lot of really awesome videos. But I actually got into his stuff from like his Linux Sucks presentations at Linux Fest Northwest, and I just thought they were pretty funny. And then, you know, I watched his other video. He had this video about oh my god, there's an ant on my monitor. There's an ant crawling on top of my monitor right now. That's a little alarming. Do I have ants in my room? Hold on, let me kill this ant. Bro. No, okay, I don't have ants in my room. We have a very Dude, if there's a non-human in my room, I'm gonna kill it. Yeah. An example of that for me would be like Wilbur Soot getting me into making YouTube videos back in the day. Back on his old YouTube channel, which wasn't called Wilbur Soot. It was discovered that you were so into him. Me too, man. Back in the day, he used to have a Minecraft channel. He used to have a YouTube channel called One Minecraft HD. I think it's called Minecraft and Donuts now. Yeah. And I used to be really into these videos. And then, of course, there was Soot House, right? Which was sort of like a Reddit reaction channel, and he ran this for a while. And then, you know, you can see the J Schlatt, you can see the Call Me Carson link. Wilbur started becoming a streamer on SMP Live. Yeah, and he would make like SMP Live videos. But yeah, I was a big Wilbur Soot head back in the day. Yeah, I watched all these videos. I was really into these. I actually have a crazy, I have some crazy, it was a video from 7 years ago. I might look a little, yeah, I look crazy there. Here's some lore. Wilbur Soot actually commented on this YouTube video of mine 7 years ago. On the Minecraft and Donuts YouTube channel. That's some lore. So Wilbur Soot has actually seen one of my videos before. Which is a little crazy. And it was essentially a video talking about how I think it was essentially a video about how I thought Wilbur Soot was the same guy, like Wilbur Soot on... No, it was a video about how Will on Soot House is the same guy as Will on One Minecraft HD. Yeah. And it was really crazy because One Minecraft HD, which is now called Minecraft and Donuts, totally did that. He also had another channel called, oh, I actually have this one downloaded. Hold on. Yeah, he actually used to have this YouTube video called A Little Brit of Will. It was like a... Let's see if there's any... Oh yeah, here we go. This YouTube channel called A Little Brit of Will, and this was like his old vlogging channel back when he had won Minecraft HD. And there used to be a YouTube channel called Flared Average, who doesn't make videos anymore, but it used to be like a... Flared Average was like a Wilbur like archive channel. But anyway, he had this video called European Travels, which was like a YouTube video where he goes around Europe with, I think, maybe his ex-girlfriend, and he like does a bunch of stuff. It's depressing because a lot of his like A Little Bit of Will channels, a lot of his A Little Bit of Will videos and a lot of his One Minecraft HD videos totally got taken down for copyright. He used to have a lot of like, if you know who Jonathan Colton is. Uh-oh. I hope that's not an issue with my, yeah, he was in Amsterdam. Yeah, these are all my, this is my YouTube video archive. I don't update it anymore. Yeah. Oh, I actually have all the Charlie McDonald videos. Do you know who Charlie McDonald is? I think he's trans now. But I have... What? No, I don't have the old videos downloaded. It's over. I thought I did. Oh wait, I do. Yeah, she used to make all these videos back in the day, like back like 10 years ago or whatever. She's like this British YouTuber. Oh man, and I have FitMC. Something funny that happened with a lot of old FitMC videos is they, the chat was completely censored. So like, can I find this? I don't know. Let's just like look at one of these. Yeah, so he has a lot of these old videos, and it's cool because I have versions of all the videos where the chat is completely uncensored, which is funny because if you go to FitMC's videos now, right, and you go to his old videos, what's a good example? I don't know, Nuking Rusher Sanctuary? Is this not censored? Oh, it's not. Hold on. Bro, I swear. Oh yeah, so here's an example. This is one of my favorite videos of his. You've noticed there's just a gigantic blur in like the bottom corner of the video because he had to censor out the chat. And this is the video I was looking for. When was it made? June 26, 2016? Why do I not have this video? Oh well. But yeah, a lot of his Yeah, here's like another example. So like obtaining a player head. I have a version of this video where the where the chat isn't censored. So that's pretty cool. I also have maybe the title did change. I don't know. I also have all of the try the one with the matching date. Well, no, because look. There isn't one with a matching date. Look, this is June 26, 2016. But look, it goes from the 25th to the 27th. There's nothing on the 26th. Try both? It's not... Okay. I really don't think it's... No, because this one's just going to be looking at map art. Yeah, no, this isn't the same video. One cool thing I do have is I have all of the Unis Honest videos. So that's pretty cool. No. They call me the archiver. See? And this is like the highest res archive. Like all the stuff on archive.org is on like 480p, but this is in like the highest res I could. Like these are like 4K downloads. There's Mental Outlaw has this crazy... Oh yeah, it's 1 life. Oh, 1 year. Yeah. Okay, I actually need to study. Okay, I'm not looking at chat. Sorry, Rafi. It's not 2. It's not 1. I think it's 4. I'm controlling outbound traffic with a firewall. Could be PTZ. Secure Network Management Protocol. That would be SNMPv3. Primary purpose of content filtering. Behavioral factor. What might unexpected client disassociations mean? Malicious attack, which is very silly. Unfamiliar. Which type of question is most effective? Okay. That one was kind of a toss-up at 3 and 4. Because I was thinking this one, but then it was like, oh, unfamiliar with technical terms. Like, can they even describe exactly what they were doing? Like, will they be able to be like, oh, I was clicking on the taskbar? I don't know. Mentioned in the document. The distractors are stupid on that one. The website examplecorp.com, the users already tried clearing their browser cache, but to no avail. That's a very funny thing to write. The technician decides to troubleshoot the issue, starting with DNS resolution. That'd be a layer 7 switch. That'd be a TTL thing, right? That would be CE. It's over. There was another Ike. There's a second Ike question. I forget exactly. That's very nice of you, Rafi. Oh God. Okay. It depends on if you're talking about Linux or Windows. I believe on... I'm gonna open up that Oh, right. It's the word traceroute on Linux. So it's inherently Linux. So that's UDP. But if it was trace RT, it would be an ICMP echo. Whoops. Oh, entrance facilities. Local. Okay. It just sort of says here. Like it just says the answer. That was obviously an odd one out. I don't have work after this. This is the only thing I'm doing today. But also, I don't really like calling while my parents are home. One moment, I'm texting someone on my telephone. Well, sure, but they know that it's like a studying live stream. Like, I don't know, it's like a thing I have. Like, yesterday I called someone and it's because my parents weren't home. It's like a thing. I don't know. It's like a thing. It is a thing. It's a thing I have. Um, right. Okay. Okay. And then it's UDP, right? Oh yeah, for sure, Rafi. Host-based firewall issue. With Microsoft Exchange mailboxes. Connectivity issue. Would that be show route? Because Cisco stuff just has the weirdest command structure ever. Is used to create a patch cord by fixing a plug to a cable. That would be a cable crimper. We have a web server that will be used to secure transactions for customers who access your website over the internet. The web server requires a certificate to support SSL. Oh god, isn't it 2/3? Implement network infrastructure, accommodate failed connections as we mesh. Purpose of a technique, that'd be read-only, not a component of a fully redundant. Oh god, it's over. It's over. I was being too fast. I got too confident. It's obviously a single network card. Obviously. It's a weird way to describe classful addressing, but okay. An API in the context of a jump box and automation. That was so stupid. I could have way kept that streak going. Okay. Isn't that called adjacent channel? Which MAC system is used by Ethernet? Is it contention based? Isn't it that one? And then isn't it 14? So insane that TFTP uses UDP. For a file transfer protocol, it's so insane. Ugh. It's not 4, it's not 3. It's got to be 1. Because 3 and 4 said VGA and 2 said HDMI, so. Isn't that infrastructure library? Minimal signal loss. Very low back reflection. Wouldn't that be APC? Best describes as a function of subnetting. Very weird, but it would be, oh wait, no, this isn't a weird one. There's one that talks about like increasing the number of broadcast addresses or something. IPv6 link local. Default gateway. Isn't it VXLAN? Best describes packet filtering firewalls. It's over. I knew the answer to that one. Oh, my mom's home. I'm gonna mute my microphone. I know about Alberta Tech. I watch her YouTube shorts. Yeah, I mean we're both like tech people, you know, makes sense. Yeah, and she talks about you know, sparkling water company and stuff. Really? Is she niche? I don't know. I see her stuff all the time. It's like, oh, we're a sparkling water company. Why do we need an AI assistant chatbot? You know, just like random. No, it's because my mom walked in. Oh God, is this like a Claude? Is this a question I ask Claude regularly? Have I asked Claude this before? It's over. Honestly, I would ask GLM5, but I don't because it's cheaper, but I don't think it has vision, right? No vision. That's so crazy. That's so insane. Okay. And it's like crazy too because it's like, at least according to artificial analysis, it's the third most intelligent, or fourth most intelligent large language model, you know? It's like smarter than GPT 5.2 codecs, you know? Well, sure, but it's operating in good faith, like, you know. Though, if I did do that thing, it would probably, where I swapped the correct answer, it would probably do the same thing. Like, it would probably I wonder, because this one isn't really up for interpretation. Shout out to wasting my time. You're fine. I don't really care. It's just funny. And plus, you know, now that Opus 4.6 is out, maybe it will be like, maybe it'll catch itself. Oh, see? See? It still got it correct. It is weird though, because it says, oh, so you picked the wrong answer, and then it says the correct answer is like the one you selected. Yeah, see? Maybe Claude, maybe the difference between, what, I was using 4.5 when we last tested this? Maybe the difference between 4.5 and 4.6 really was that much smarter. Anthropic obfuscates the thinking, so it's not very helpful. Like, these aren't its real thinking tokens. I wonder if, like, if I do, like, Kimmy, if it would... Because Kimi doesn't obfuscate thinking tokens. I think this is just like an obviously wrong thing. Really? God. Kimmy loves doing these big, long drafts. Yeah, I think this is just obviously... And it's actually cool because you can tell Opus 4.6 here costed 1.2 cents, and this also costed 1.2 cents, but this costed 0.3 cents, which is pretty neat. But anyway, just use Kimi. Well, sure, but it's less intelligent. Like, look. Yeah, Kimmy 2.5. It's like 7th most intelligent. See? But Opus 4.6 is the most intelligent. Yeah, but it has more thinking. Well, sure. I mean, more thinking tokens isn't necessarily a good thing. Sure, but like from our tests, I mean, they all. And it won't lead you astray. I'm just inclined to say Opus is way less likely to lead you astray than Kimmy. No, I didn't. I see. I don't know. I just try to use whatever one is at the top as long as it's not like exorbitantly expensive. And I'm okay with spending 1 cent on some Opus response. I remember when GPT-5 Pro was the best model, and that was way too expensive. I was very uncomfortable using that. Opus can get really expensive. Like, you can easily spend like $0.25 on a conversation, and it's like, really? Like, are we really doing that? Sitting in a private subnet. No public IP addresses, so they can't reach the internet at all, but sometimes they need to. A NAT gateway solves this. It sits between a public subnet and acts as it sits in a public subnet and acts as a middleman. Your private instances send their outbound traffic through it. The NAT gateway swaps their private IP for its own public IP, forwards the request to the internet, and then routes the response back. But this is the key part: nobody from the outside can initiate a connection back in. Okay. Right. Okay. Makes sense. I'm going to use the restroom really fast. Oh, I need to mute my microphone. What's the game you're playing right now? Is it Genshin Impact? Oh, I see. Fortnite. I played Fortnite when it came out. Well, when the Battle Royale came out, and when it turned free on Season 1. But I haven't played Fortnite in a long time, mostly because it doesn't work on Linux. But it seems like a good game. UDP forwarding in the context of IP helper functionality. UDP forwarding. I mean, maybe. I don't want to have to figure that out. And it also, like, isn't it like an anti-cheat thing? I don't know. In all honesty, I don't really play a game if it's not, like, platinum on ProtonDB. Like, I'd rather just not deal with it. Or gold. I actually play GTA sometimes, and that's gold on Proton. Yeah, right. Like, I don't want to play a game where, like, I've heard success stories of it working. Like, I just see it as a sign that I maybe shouldn't play this game. Okay, UDP forwarding is just used for broad stuff. I do like tinkering, but not to like play a video game, you know? Like, I like tinkering when it helps me learn things, like with my Nix config, like, or like other stuff. Like I don't know, like when I play a video game, it's kind of a spontaneous decision. Like I open up, the Minecraft launcher spontaneously, or I like open up Steam so I can play like Bloons Tower Defense spontaneously, you know? I don't want to have to like be like, oh, today I'm gonna get this game working, and then, you know, fast forward, you know, because I'm on Arch like wine updates, and I have to like update my wine prefixes, and that's like, dog, like, do I really want to do this right now? Like, when I could just open up this other game and get the same amount of dopamine for way less effort. Really? Wow. Well, they say opposites attract. Intermittent loss of connectivity. Isn't it, okay. Excessive untwisting. I see. I remember getting this one wrong in the past. SSH host key? That would be, 2. The host key? Oh, I see. The main reason I play video games is so then I can have something to do while watching a YouTube video on my second monitor. This is weird. SSH host key? An SSH server is identified by a public-private key pair, referred to as the host key. A mapping of host names to public keys can be kept manually by each SSH client. Oh, sure, like in known hosts, like in, I won a crazy warranty dispute. Really? What happened? Yeah, like I even known hosts. Okay. Bro. So it contains host public keys. The actual host keys themselves live on the server. They're generated when the SSH server is first set up. They're what uniquely identify that server, which ties back to the correct answer on your flash card. The flow is basically you connect to a server, it prevents its host public key, and your client checks no host to see if it matches what it saw last time. If it doesn't match, you get that scary remote warning. I've gotten that before, which could mean someone is doing a man-in-the-middle attack or the server just got reinstalled. I'm playing the OG Fortnite. The dynamite ignition particles are inside my character's butthole. That's funny. Okay, I see. So if I go into oh wow, I see. Okay. Ugh. Right. Congratulations with the sniper. Okay, sure, sure. Congratulations that you're winning. Are you in like bot lobbies? Wait, what? Oh, Debian does it. Oh, bro. Is it admin? Is it root? What am I trying to do? Oh, well. Yeah, it's over. Right. Drives me up the wall. Awesome. What else do you personally think, Ovis? Wow, that sucks. Okay, this makes sense. The type of credential, that would be an authentication factor. What does a NAT gateway allow an instance to do? Oh god, what was it? That one. And then that would be specific. Wow, I got so many ones wrong. Oh my god, this is insane. Personally identifiable information. Which command should the engineer use to view both the current operational status and the configuration of the port? Would it be... I feel like it's either 1 or 4, but I don't really know Cisco config that well. Like Cisco, like shell syntax. I don't think it's Mac. I don't think it's show space Mac space address dash table. A show running config sounds realistic. I'm gonna go for 1. I could be wrong. Okay, it was 4. So I was correct in that it was 1 or 4, but okay. I just need to learn Cisco stuff. Distributed. That would be a. No show interface. That makes sense. What is the primary purpose of port mirroring? Is available. What type of transmission is available? What do you mean? Isn't contingent-based inherently half duplex? Ingress and egress traffic, that would be input and output. Isn't that Wi-Fi 5? Inadvertent vulnerability, that would be shadow IT. Associated with the application layer, wouldn't that be HTTP? Oh, it's either, it actually might be port number. No, it's HTTP. Because port number is like transport layer or something. The location and scope. It's not 2. It's not 4. I think it's 1. What? Oh my god, I didn't even read the second part of the question. Because this is what made me write off 2. Like, the first part of 2 was what made me write it off. But I didn't even realize that the second... I should have just read more. That sucks. Bro. Am I stupid? Yeah. That's crazy, Rafi. Not in a bad way, but I am gonna remove that so people don't, like, people I know don't. Whoops. What did I just do? Are you still able to type, Rafi? I pressed a button wrong. Okay, I think you're fine. I am gonna remove your message. It's all love, but I don't, okay, cool. But I don't want people I know coming in here and seeing your crazy messages. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I clicked on the little three dots next to your name and I accidentally right-clicked on one of the buttons. But I don't know which. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I just didn't press anything. Yeah, I reported you to Interpol, Rafi. Sorry. Intermittent network connectivity issues. Does a hub operate? That's physical layer. Cloud access security broker. Well, I mean, if your message was removed, I think it would be advantageous for YouTube to not tell you, you know? Oh, really? I see. Okay, weird. I don't know that. No, and I'm not embarrassed. It's just like, you know, I don't know. I think my position is defendable. Right. True. I don't think I'm that intelligent. Okay. Between your organization's users and the cloud services they're using. When employees start using cloud apps, whether it's sanctioned stuff or unsanctioned shadow IT, the CASB watches what's going on and enforces your security policies. Okay. What's that type of firewall called? Next generation firewall. Really? What ended up happening? And what was the what tell me the story. Oh. Oh wow. That's awesome. Shout out European consumer protections. I love the Eurozone. Right, okay. Oh, shout out Dutch Consumer Protections. I love the Netherlands. Okay, this makes sense. I see. Burger logic. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, kind of famously, I mean, that's a thing you hear a lot. I mean, probably not. Though the United States had it really crazy. We had like super slavery. We had like it was crazy. Um, yeah, but it wasn't all the Netherlands, right? I mean, I see. That's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Um, not 3, not 2, not, it's gotta be 4. I think that's, dig, right? To increase the speed of the routing process. Okay. That makes sense. I remember getting that one wrong. What was the primary function of port address translation? I mean, kind of 4, right? I love Claude. Shout out Anthropic, dude. This is so funny. It's so funny that they thought that Google thought they could just scan every book and then make them all publicly available. Like, dude, like what? Yeah, like obviously, right? I see. Oh god, right. I remember getting this one wrong. Non-graphic, useful mgrep. RFQDN. Net. Those are stupid distractors. Right. I mean, wasn't that kind of the method in the older games? Like, that sort of broke containment. I remember hearing about that. I see. Oh, shit. Okay, I would have gotten that one. Don't give me the answer, Rafi. Thank you, though. Oh my god! My fingers were in the wrong place. I had my pinky finger on the tilde and not with the 1. That's horrifying. I meant to press 4. Obviously that wasn't the answer. Dude. Did you like your own video? As one like, no, I never like my own videos. People like my videos sometimes. It's not just you, Rafi. What does a non-transparent proxy require? With the presentation layer, that would be translates data, right? Translates data. I forget about translates data, the stupidest answer ever. I mean, it makes sense. It just bothers me because I get it wrong all the time. That should have made me remember it. Using display filters. In ZTA, that's zero trust architecture. Really, that's interesting, Rafi. Data locality. Yeah, geographical boundary is so stupid that I got that one wrong. And then translates data. God. It's either 1 or 3. I remember thinking the answer was 4 because it mentioned e-commerce. I think it might be packet filtering. It's over. It's over for me. I didn't even look at the second one. Guy who makes an excuse every time he gets a question wrong. Guy who blames the controller. That's me. I'm blaming the controller right now. God, I don't know. Degraded network bandwidth? I don't know, malware? Okay, distributed DOS. I guess the second part sort of implies that. The end systems. What do you mean, why would a server have malware? What? Servers famously have malware sometimes. Sure. I mean, when I think of malware, I think of you know, the definition, which is a portmanteau of, you know, malicious software. But you know, I guess I know what you mean. Sure. Is it? Is it about a slow server? Experiencing degraded network bandwidth. They cannot visit the company website. Like, that does sort of imply a DDoS. Those are some silly distractors. Isn't it TCAP? Maintaining reverse lookup zones. Forward lookup and a reverse lookup. Forward lookup zones. Resource records listed previously. Looks up an IP address. Conversely, a reverse DNS query returns the hostname associated with a given IP address. This information is stored as a reverse lookup zone as a pointer record. Sure, that makes sense. Because like, if you have pointer records in your DNS zone, people could just look at your DNS records and be like, oh, you know, this IP address points to, you know, this, you know, web domain or whatever. What? Oh, sure. It's talking about like IP addresses and like a private network. I mean, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I might stop. I might stop streaming. I might be done for now. Yeah, I'll probably stream a little more tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'll look